Do you think that your superannuation in Australia is just a retirement fund? Well, think again about it. Your super holds hidden benefits, right from free insurance to tax savings and even smart investment opportunities. But most people in Australia don't use it to its full potential. I recently was invited for an interview with NRI Money Clinic where I revealed the game changing strategies that will help you grow and protect your wealth. Stay with me as I've broken down this complex topic into simpler terms because every dollar in your super should be working for you. Here are some snippets of the interview. Do let me know in the comment section what you feel about it.
Understanding about similar funds across globe is that it is an accumulation fund to build a retirement corpus. What you want to do with it post your retirement, in each country it has its own rules regulation. In some countries it says 58 years, some countries 60, 65 years. You take that money as an annuity or a structured withdrawal. That's what you do. But I have heard about super fund being more than a retirement fund. What are the benefits the super fund can give to the person who contributes to the super fund?
Super funds actually include a lot of benefits. Obviously, retirement is the main driver, but it's so amazing that in Australia, super can actually include some cost effective insurance. So, for example, there are three things that I will talk about. So, the first is life cover, which is generally called as a death cover. So, wherein this pays a lump sum or an income stream to whoever is the beneficiary, let's say in an unfortunate incident, if somebody dies or somebody has a terminal illness. So, you can actually, somebody, can actually buy that life cover or life insurance within super. The second is TPD, which is called total and permanent disability cover. That also pays a benefit. Let's say if somebody becomes seriously disabled or which is total and permanent disability, they may not be able to work again, so they can buy the TPD insurance as well within super. And the third very important is income protection insurance. So what an income protection is also called as salary continuance cover. So let's assume if somebody met an accident, they are not able to work, let's say for a considerable period of time. It's not a permanent disability, but let's say a temporary illness or disability or anything that somebody goes through. If they are, let's say, not able to work for a certain period, if they have taken income protection insurance for a specific duration, let's say for 2 years, 5 years, it would pay that regular income for that specified period. It's not a health insurance. Health insurance is totally different, which is an accident which you get into. This is, let's say, if somebody is not able to work after they have been discharged and everything, and that usually kicks in after 30 days. It totally depends on the cover that you have taken. But these are the three kind of insurance which are very relevant for individuals. Of course, the taxation works separately. So if I give my example, I have taken the life cover and TPD insurance in super, but the income protection I have taken outside super because that's more tax efficient for me. But everyone is different. So like you were saying at the beginning, it's not an advice of any sort, but it's just to make people aware that don't just take super or superannuation as retirement, just as a retirement purpose, a vehicle to create saving, but often there are insurance benefits as well. And I would also like to point out that there are other benefits as well. So if somebody, let's say, is for compassionate reasons, for medical reasons, other reasons, if they want to access their superannuation funds, that's also possible. Obviously, it's on case by case basis, but it's very important that people see super not just as retirement driver, but also as something which they can leverage specifically for insurance benefits.
Parul, you mentioned that employer has an obligation to deduct at 11.5% of the basic salary for as a contribution to super fund. You also mentioned that there is an upper ceiling to which a level a person can contribute. Now, let's say that if I were to be working in Australia and I want to maximize my savings, or I would say optimize my savings, how do you feel someone has to approach this thing? How much he has to contribute? Are there anything that they have to keep in mind? the upper limits, or what might go right, what might go wrong. For the benefit of my audience, can you tell me a few things to keep in mind for optimization?
So there are different ways of optimizing. And again, everyone's situation is very different. Which tax bracket they fall into is also very different. But I can talk specifically what's there on the Australian Taxation Office, the ATO website. I'm just going to tell the most relevant things. So there are three key things that I'm going to talk about. So the first one, like I was saying, is the voluntary contributions. So the upper cap, like I was saying, is 30,000 AUD per financial year. So people can make some voluntary contributions if they are falling short. That can be done in multiple ways. Either people can do salary sacrifice, like for example, I do salary sacrifice. It makes that particular income less taxable because whatever you are making the contributions in superannuation, it's only taxed at 15%, 15%, as compared to the marginal income tax rate. So usually if somebody is on a 30% income tax bracket, or let's say on a 45% income tax bracket, it's much less than that because it's just 15%. So any concessional contributions that you have made is only taxed at 15%. So that's a big difference. Imagine if somebody is paying 45% tax versus just 15% tax. So that's one way. I think people should definitely, like I said, it's not an advice, but from a tax beneficiary perspective, I usually do salary sacrifice. I also, if let's say I'm short of whatever amount, 5,000, 10,000 by the end of the financial year. In Australia, the financial year runs from 1st of July until the 30th of June. That's the financial year that's being followed in Australia. So let's say if somebody, or for myself, if I talk about, if I'm falling short, then I would usually do some extra contributions before the end of financial year to get those tax benefits. So I think that's a good benefit. The second thing which a lot of people don't know is that there is something called as carry forward unused contributional caps. And that's something which was introduced, I think, 2018 or 2019, somewhere around that time, wherein if let's say every year you have an upper cap, right? So previous year it was 27,500, now it's 30,000. Much before than that, it was 25,000. So any unused cap amount, people can actually carry forward that amount to the next financial year, starting from financial year 2018, 2019. And that unused cap is available for 5 years. And after 5 years, it expires. So I'll just give a quick example. So let's say in the financial year 2019, 2020, if there is an unused cap, if somebody has not used, that can be used by the end of 2024 to 2025. And after that, it will expire. So that's a very good benefit that a lot of people don't know about. And it's not just in that financial year, but for any reason, if you have missed out, there are carry forward contributions. You can leverage that as well to maximize the tax benefit that people can avail. So that's a good way. And then another good benefit is the first home super saver schemes. Now, what happens in this FHSS is something that they call is, which is the first home super saver schemes, is that people can withdraw up to 15,000 Australian dollar of the voluntary contributions from any one financial year up to a total of 50,000 across multiple years. Now, when I say this FHSS, which is the first home super saver scheme, it may not be right for everyone, because what not a lot of people know is that once you take out that money, let's say if you want to go buy a property and if you have taken that first home buyer benefit, if you have taken that out, let's say if somebody has taken out 15,000, when they are filing for a return, they need to add back that into their assessable income, right? So it may not be right for everyone. Hence, it's very important that people should be aware about what are the implications of each benefit that they are availing in super. If they are in doubt, it's always best to reach an accountant or a financial planner and discuss your unique circumstances. But I feel that if people are aware, then these concessional contributions, the unused cap contributions, or in some cases, the first home buyer as well, can be good benefits that people can avail.
Many a times, what happens is some of the schemes floated will have additional benefits which people will not know. I'll tell you an example. Now, the insurance policies in India many a times could have been booked under Married Women's Properties Act. That means that money cannot be touched by anyone else. Like public provident fund, they have a tax advantage. Then it is immune to any attachment by any courts. Does super fund have such benefits what generally people may not know about?
So people, like I was saying, I think super offer tax benefits. So anything which is their income or anything that you get is 15% taxed, which is very low as compared to the marginal rate. If somebody is in a 45% or 30%, it's definitely much less than that. That's important. Insurance cover, people don't know about. People can get life insurance, income protection. Income protection, when I talk to people in India, like they feel they've never heard about something like an income protection insurance, that your income can be protected as well within super. TPD, total permanent disability, God forbidden, somebody can't work. Yes, you have that allowance with you. First home super saver scheme for additional benefits people can get. Sometimes I've also seen for medical reasons, if people are unable to afford or something like that, people can, for compassionate grounds, can access their superannuation. It's discretionary, of course, but I'm saying that there are these compassionate reasons or medical reasons for which people can apply for an early release of funds, and the government, I think, just reviews it on a case by case basis. Many of these super funds, good super funds, provide financial advice, also free financial advice. So in Australia, even if you, let's say, go to a financial advice, you'll just charge you $300 or $400 for one consultation. But let's assume if you're with a good super fund, they will provide that free financial advice for the rest of your life. So there are these many good benefits. I think it takes time and effort to find the right super fund. And I feel if you are with one of them, then definitely your super will grow. I have seen a lot of change in my super account ever since I have switched. In my initial part in Australia, it didn't grow much, but lately it has worked well for me.